Hi, I'm Annie Botticelli, and this is the Storyteller Forecast for Cancer for November 2016. Go to my website, anniehelpsyou.com, see what's new on my blog, and if you're interested in being a coach, a life coach, a business coach, a spiritual coach, check out my certification program that will be enrolling soon. So what's going on in November? This is one of the most exciting months of the year. Lots of momentum, lots of energy coming to fruition, lots of new births, lots of busy, active, optimistic energy, thanks to all the planets in Sag. There are amazing aspects this month, and that is good for all the general astrology, so that's for all signs, and there are some things that are specific for Cancer that I want to get into. So when we have beautiful aspects, which are mathematical planetary alignments, planets coming together in a mathematical manner that is positive or harmonious, it's like it's giving kisses or sending beams of light hugs over to certain sections of your chart. So, Cancer energies, all of you, early, middle, and late degree placements, all have a strong concentration of light beam hugs and kisses going to your 5th and 6th houses. Your 5th house is your house of fun and creativity and artistic expression. So anything having to do with children, from the time of conception through pregnancy, birth, delivery, child rearing, taking care of someone else's children. If your babies are other things besides kids, whatever those creative projects are in this house. And athleticism and music, actors, musicians are all here. Whatever is that hobby, that fun thing that you do that lights you up, your creative passion, that's what this energy is. It's also the house of romance, and it's also called the house of true love. So you've got beautiful beams of light getting sent to this sector of your life that can accentuate any of those things mentioned. You also have very strong energy in your 6th house, which has to do with your health and your regimen, and it has to do with anything medical or anything, acupuncture, anything that you do as part of your health regimen. And it has to do with your mundane work. It's called the house of mundane work. So if you're in an office, that's your energy of 6th house. If you work from home, that's the energy of 6th house. How you go about doing your work or running your business, that's all 6th house. So there's tremendous opportunity, and there's a general trend towards working more efficiently. People are starting to realize more and more that we don't have to do a lot of the things that we're doing or that we think we have to do. Some of those things do need to get done. And those things that do need to get done, some of those things we have to actually do them. But we'd have a lot more vigor for the things that we like about our work if we could get some help with the things we don't like as much and put that work onto someone who likes to do that type of thing. So I recommend, when I see a house being lit up, I'm recommending a resource called Upwork, upwork.com. And it's my new favorite thing ever since I started listening to the book, The 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss. He's an animal. He's just totally awesome. Now, I think it is unlikely that I'll get my work week down to only 4 hours, but I can say that since I've interacted with that book, my work schedule and my work life has completely transformed. And part of the premise of the book that encouraged me to utilize things like Upwork talks about siphoning off things you don't have to do so that you have more energy for your passions, and then you'll have more fun. So you can find a virtual assistant on Upwork. You can find a professional who does any of the things you need help with, and you can also put your services up there, and this could be part of how you're revolutionizing your work, because you could bring it online or expand your online business. So that's going on for all Cancer placements. For the earlier and middle degree placements, there's a theme that's starting that will start soon for the later degree placements. So early and middle degree placements are all of the, the end of June, so any June born, and then like the first 10 days or so of July, or 0 through around 20 degrees if you're watching for your rising sign. You all will have this theme, and then the rest of you will see it coming soon. where Mars is accentuating your houses of partnership, one or either or of them, 7th or 8th house. This encourages you to look for resources that are already established that can facilitate your expansion. Sometimes we feel like we have to do everything ourselves, and then when we start at ground zero, it can be daunting because we don't know where to go and there's so much to do. But this is the type of energy, this theme that's coming in, where you rely on other people's already established resources. You can see how Upwork could tie in here as well, you know, and there is a connection between the two in the chart. So be thinking about who you could connect with. Be asking for synchronicities for you to run into the person who could be most helpful to you for this, you know, whether it's borrowing money, you need money for fueling your dream, whether it's you need support or emotional support or additional knowledge or information. Working together, relying on somebody else for moving forward is part of a theme that will be very active now. So the earlier degree placements are having that occur, but then the later degree placements are also having some energy in the 4th house. The 4th house has to do with home and family and real estate and anything about like childhood, the psychology of childhood, anything having to do with real estate, so realtors, people who do interior design or construction, or anything having to do with houses or homes or psychology. You have extra bursts of energy, especially you later degree placements in this month of November. So these are some themes that are present for Cancer, but now I want to get into these very exciting things to know about for November. It's really important to understand November in the scheme of things. This is the best month of all year for launches, doing important things, and it's the best month for a long time because you're not going to have open, starry potentials for pushing things forward until the summer of 2017. November is a very exciting month. I'm calling the theme of November for all signs, advancement and ascension. There are lots of planetary energies moving through the sign of Sagittarius, and when this happens, there's an overall optimistic, awesome vibe that's lighthearted, it's fun, it's easygoing. It can be very productive as well, but it can be a little bit dizzying because it moves in a spiral, so it's kind of all over the place. So there's lots of expansion and fun to be had this month, and you'll feel the mood be quite elevated, especially compared to the recent months of eclipses and retrogrades. Speaking of retrogrades, November is the only month in all of 2016 where we don't have any days in the whole month in a personal planet retrograde or a shadow period of a personal planet retrograde. So we had some really good launch dates in October, but we've got even more awesome launch dates in November. Almost every day in the first week is amazing for anything that you want to do. Launches, good times, plans, outings, just overall good vibes. Almost every day the first week has amazing transits. The 15th, the 19th, the 22nd, the 23rd, the 26th, the 29th. And you can feel these energies often in the days before and the days after. So the month is just completely full of amazing opportunities. When you sign up for my free email newsletter on my website, anniehelpsyou.com, you will get a written version of the good dates, the challenging dates, the overview of the month, every month, a month early, the same way that I do the horoscopes early. So, and you get other gifts for signing up too. So if you want more information or seeing in a written form the energies that are coming up, then definitely go to my website and do that. So Mars is also wrapping up its movement through Capricorn. Mars visits a sign every 2-ish years. So whenever it's bringing its movement and activity to a sign, we have a lot of opportunities to move forward in our lives. Mars is like the border collie of the zodiac, you know. If you've ever been around border collies, I always have had border collies my whole life. And they're busy. They're all over the place. And they can make you crazy, right? Because it's just such active energy. And they're strong and fast, you know. And that's the energy wherever Mars is in your chart and in the sign that it's in. So when Mars is in Capricorn, which it is for the first week of November, That's the end of its cycle there. You have amazing opportunities to wrap up business-related things, work, career, life purpose, things involving establishing your authority, things involving authority figures, anything having to do with father or father figures or people who have played that role to you. As Mars moves into Aquarius, we've got a couple of months of movement along the fronts of everything Aquarian, including all internet-based projects, humanitarian efforts, anything involving groups or teams or leading groups or working with teams or large organizations or humanitarian efforts or friendships or social media. So you've got a lot of opportunity with Mars, especially for things along these lines. There are a couple of spots in the month that are a little bit, I call it dicey, which means that the energies are a little bit challenging. I always think that the challenges give us more opportunities to advance and ascend, so I have an optimistic way of looking even at the challenges. So on the days leading up to that 5th supermoon at 22 degrees of Taurus on November 14th, there could be some emotions. Full moons bring emotions. And speaking of dogs, full moons always remind me of how dogs shake off after they get wet, because emotional energy is represented by water energy. And so at the full moon, any energies that we have in our field that haven't been shaken off tend to get shaken off in the form of some sort of little drama, some sort of little upset, coming to fruition, coming to completion. Sometimes it's a really wonderful thing and there are tears of joy, but sometimes it's just stressful. So I often feel the full moon like 48 hours before it actually happens. That's why I say the days leading up to November 14th. Then by the time the full moon comes, I'm good. I'm done with my moment or whatever. So the fact that this is a super moon, which means that the moon is actually closer to the Earth, you can see it. It looks huge. It also increases the gravitational pull and effects on the Earth. So anything involving water, like water coming where it shouldn't be, emotions coming where they shouldn't be, excess emotions, can definitely come up. There could be something around the energies of Taurus where it has to do with money or how you make money, your income, something of value, and figuring out things of values, just your values in general. Another very notable transit is a square between Jupiter and Pluto. Whenever we have an aspect between outer planets, which are the ones that take longer to move around, these times of coming together last longer. And so this first Jupiter-Pluto square is happening on November 24th, Thanksgiving. So that could bring some conflicts for people in the United States around our holiday, our Thanksgiving holiday. So look out for that, but this is the first of 3 squares. The second one is March 30th of 2017, and the last one is August 14th of 2017. So from November through August, there's a theme of Jupiter and Pluto coming together in a challenging aspect. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. It wants to expand and go broad. Pluto rules Scorpio, and it wants to contract in and go deep and get really focused and really deep. So when these energies that are kind of, they seem they're actually opposite, come together, it stops you from going too deep or too broad. But I see this as a positive thing because either of those energies in excess have their limitations. So I think that you can get the best of whatever you're working on by not letting your Jupiterian expansion get too big, too fast before you can manage it, and Pluto kind of keeping it in check, and not letting you go down into an abyss that Pluto tends to go down into too deep because Jupiter buoys it up. So you'll see this energy of kind of antagonistic forces at play throughout this time. And I'm calling it a little bit of a buzzkill energy because compared to the rest of the vibes of the month, it's a little bit annoying, but see it for what you can do with it. The last little touchy spot is on the last day of the month, which is November 30th. And that's when there's a challenging aspect with Neptune. So deception, self-esteem pings, confusion, insecurity can come up at that time. But don't let these things daunt you because the rest of the month is so amazing that it's like you can't let anything get you down. So if you would like to sign up for my free email newsletter, definitely go to my website, anniehelpsyou.com. Definitely check out what's new on my blog. I have new things up there every month, and plus old stuff you can check out. And if you're interested in becoming a life coach, a business coach, I have a coach certification and online business training course that is enrolling in January, and you can get first dibs at the open slots if you email me on my website. Also, starting enrollment in January will be my astrology apprenticeship program and my creating successful online business program, which is part of the life coach program, but I also offer it separately. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.